Hey folks, Matt from artoftheimage.com. So I'm just reading over on Tom Hogan's site, one of my favorite Nikon gurus, and he's got some speculation here which I think could be the big reason most of us will end up buying the Nikon D400. It may even be the big reason that the Nikon D400 is all you need in a camera. You may never need to go full frame if this actually comes to fruition. If you dig into his articles, he's got a section here on the D400 where he talks about the fact that he thinks their big surprise on the D400 from Nikon may be that it uses photo binning. Now, for those of you that don't know what photo binning is, basically what we're doing here with photo binning, in a nutshell, this isn't the totally correct technical definition, but basically you're taking 4 or 2 pixels and permanently, or 2 photo sites, I should say, and putting them so that it's 4:1 or 2:1, so whatever ratio you're going to choose. So effectively what you're doing here is taking a 24 megapixel sensor, and let's say we were going 2:1, taking it down to a 12 megapixel sensor. Now what you can do, you can imagine here, is this is going to reduce the noise and it's going to increase the photo quality, especially if you went something like 4:1. Now remember back to 6 megapixel sensors, D70, D200, a lot of cameras like that had a 6 megapixel sensor. Canon had the 20D, which was an 8 megapixel sensor, but we had some pretty decent high ISO in those, but not super great. But what we could do here now is take a 24 megapixel sensor and you bin it down to a 6 megapixel sensor. So you're using 4 underlying photo sites to 1 and really make an incredible high ISO DSLR. A lot of the images you're going to shoot at high ISO don't necessarily need high megapixels. And if your megapixels are clean, think back to the D2H at 4 megapixels, was famous for doing really good quality images that you could blow up into huge prints at 4 megapixels. So if we take a binned sensor, so we're down to 6 megapixels, say, from a 24, and that's, let's call it our high ISO mode. You switch it over to high ISO, and now we're into super high quality ISO. So if you're in dim lighting situation, you switch it over to high ISO mode, the camera bins its 24 megapixels down to 6 and gives you killer, stellar looking high ISO images. All of a sudden, what an incredible DSLR. In good lighting, you shoot it at 24 megapixels. You get the benefit of 24 good megapixels. And with Nikon's technology, like we've seen in the D7000, I think we can see some excellent quality out of 24 megapixels. All of a sudden now, though, you're in dim lighting and you want to use the best you can get out of your sensor. You switch it over to the 6 megapixel mode, and all of a sudden, you can get something, dare we say, as good as a D3s maybe. With the newest technology, with this binning and Nikon's further advances in technology, perhaps D3s quality out of a crop sensor DSLR. This is cool, and if this comes out, this will be revolutionary, folks. Tom's saying here that this is his best guess. He says he's only guessing, but he thinks this may be what Nikon has up their sleeves for the D400. And if this is the case, this could rock the camera world the way that Nikon D3s did, in the sense that the D3s trumps everything out there for high ISO. So now we could have a crop sensor body that gives us the best of both worlds. How cool would this be? I know I would buy the camera without a second thought if this is what they're doing, because this would be amazing. I would probably buy 2 and sell my D7000. This would be huge for me, absolutely huge. As primarily a wedding photographer, any of you out there shooting weddings, this would be amazing. Good for a lot of other things, but for myself as a wedding photographer, stellar. Anyways, folks, I will put the link to Tom's site down below. You can have a look, have a read through it, see what you think. Leave me your comments down below. Let me know what you think. Is this as exciting for you as it is for me? To me, I think this would just rock the photography world. I think this would put Nikon, I mean, the D7000 is already an incredible camera, but the D400, if it has this, will just be mind-blowing. So anyways, stay tuned. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back soon with some new articles, some new video posts, and we'll keep you up to date with what's going on in the world of photography here at artoftheimage.com. Thanks a lot, folks.